Dun, 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 dun. Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Get Nerdy with Birdy. And today we got a special guest for you, the creator of the Drake equation. So let's put our hands together for Mr. Frank Drake. Woo!
Thanks for having me, Birdy.
Thanks for being here, Mr. Frank. So it's taken you a while to actually make this equation, and it has a bunch of components to it, which might scare a lot of people, thinking that this equation might just be very confusing, but once you break it down, it's not that confusing. If I can have the honors into talking about the equation.
Okay, go ahead. Teach us.
Alright, so let's start with r to the x. This is just saying that we calculate the yearly rate of star formations in galaxies. So how many stars are made every year. We move on to f of p, which is the fraction of the yearly made stars that can actually be in planetary systems. So as we know it, solar systems. Then we have n to the e, which is what makes these places habitable, which we don't actually have much to qualify our claim, so we actually can't describe this variable.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we move on to f of L, which just talks about how many of these planets can actually support life. After that, we move on to fi, which is out of these habitable planets, how many of these actually have intellectual life forms.
Wow, you know your stuff.
Then we move on to f of c, which is, by your calculations, you think that the radio waves are the greatest way to actually communicate with extraterrestrial life forms out there. And when we come back to L, we actually find out the time it takes, that the time we estimate that life forms out there will actually stay where they are at this point in time, which could not be at much because they might be very smart and they might move from planet to planet very quickly. And so recently, scientists have calculated on how many planets there might be out there that are habitable, and so out of the calculations that the scientists have made, we have been able to figure out that there are 10,000 habitable planets in this universe. But 10,000 might seem a lot to us, but compared to how many planets and stars are actually in this universe, 10,000 is an extremely small amount. 10,000 out of how many there are, which is at minimum 100 billion stars, it might just take us a humongous amount of time to find one single planet. So from my perspective, I'm not quite optimistic on actually finding extraterrestrial life forms out there, but how do you feel?
Yes, I still believe that one day we might find an extraterrestrial or get to meet one.
Okay, you're actually very optimistic, and that's a really good quality. So thank you for your time, and have a nice day, Mr. Frank.
Thank you for having me.